going to inch higher here. So I bought some 16 calls. They're almost there's almost no volatility in them in terms of the price of the call. So I think I paid about 30 cents for it. So there's a little volatility in it, obviously, but GDX here's still in this trade. It looks like it's just trying to maybe get through here. We'll see how it closes the day. Again, I really liking gold. I had some TZA over the weekend, sold it at the open because it looked like the market was going to pop back. So it was a nice.
That's an inverse. That's an inverse one, right?
Yeah.
TZA? Yeah.
That's a short. That's basically a short on the small caps.
Right.
So here's AIM. AIM, like I said, AIM is one of the ones that are presenting. They seem to be holding up here. Looking for a bit of a pop here. This was the other one I was looking at, APDN. Unfortunately, I really like the way it's set up, but it was a nice. Unfortunately, they must have come out with some news. Codex right up at the high. Can't say I chase that. These are this. mRNA looks kind of interesting. Not a lot of volume today. The RSI is coming back up again.
Yeah, I looked at mRNA earlier today, and it didn't look like there was much of interest happening.
Yeah, just a lot of. It's just pretty quiet. Huh. Let's see, UAL.
PYX Pikes International spiking to the highs $3.79. PY.
Mute my Benzinga feed.
Yeah, SPLX. Well, I mean, I don't think, Mike. I really don't think it really matters if you're taking a position on the SPY, whether it's you're making a bet, you're making a directional bet one way or the other. And yeah, I mean, there's no reason why you couldn't use SPXL. But again, SPXL is how much? What is it? $33. So you could pay $33. And what's the range been on this today? So 32, 38 to 33. Let's just call it $1. So 3%, up 3% from sort of 1 o'clock-ish this afternoon. And Andrew made 20% on his money in a couple of minutes. So I guess that's, again, it's a matter of the leverage that you apply.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I mean, if you're wrong on the direction, then the loss on your SPXL trade is going to be significantly less than the loss on your SPY call. So it works, it's a knife that cuts both ways. See, LABU has really been on fire today. Yeah, it's really popped back up here. And let me look at it. There's another now that okay, well, let's just look at UGAS, which is a levered ETF. But to me, this looks like a bit of a double bottom, and maybe we're going to be heading up higher into the summer months where we get more demand for gas. Certainly, if there's a shutdown in the oil pumping in the Permian and other areas in the U.S., gas is also going to take a hit because gas comes out of the oil wells as well. So if they shut in some of these oil wells because of the lack of demand, lack of storage capacity, I think natural gas is going to catch a bid here. mRNA moving. All right. Do you want to go back to sharing your screen?
Sure. Well, it should still be there. Let me just 1 second. We'll do a little switch over here.
I'll stop sharing. Unless somebody thinker. Okay, someone's asking about Twitter. I can also take a look at other stocks here. If anyone has any interest in looking at. So Twitter, this is setting up nicely. You're trading against. Let's do this here. Trading against a, fairly well-defined level here. It's kind of in the middle of the thing. I would have liked to see it bounce more here, but it's kind of holding these pullbacks on Friday. Now we're up again. I mean, that gives you a level to trade against. The only thing I would say again is like volume, super light compared to some of these previous days sell-offs, which gives me pause for concern that this bounce is really not, people aren't really enthusiastically saying, yeah, this is a great opportunity to get into this stock. So RSI is not really telling us anything. Stochastics are heading lower. MACD's coming together. So yeah, I mean, that would all give me some concern about this trade.
Cool. Yeah, I don't know. Well, Twitter's a hard one to hold overnight, I think, anyways, because it tends to be jumpy. Like, look at how many times it's gapped if you sort of look at that daily chart you've got up there.
Yeah, I know. Here's Beyond Meat. Again, it's kind of come back to kind of bottomed out here this morning and came back up with everything else. Again, volume really dropping off here. I think that's kind of almost the theme here. Is there's just seems to be a lack of buyers, but also a lack of sellers. So
I think I get the impression that, and this is just my impression, Brian, but the markets are in a point now. Like if you're big money, things are like today is the first day that many states in the U.S. are opening their doors for business. I would think you want to wait and see what happens, right? Because this either could go famously well, where they open and production comes back and everybody's excited and things go well, or we could start hearing about spikes in cases, but that that'll be a week out. So I would think there's going to be my guess is there's going to be a week or two period where we may see some of the big monies continue to stay on the sidelines, which means there'll still be day trading opportunities. We just could see continued lower volume overall in the markets for the next little while. Yeah, we'll see if I'm right or not.
For sure. I think that's probably a pretty accurate assessment of where we could be right now, for sure. It's a little bit of a wait and see thing, but I think I was reading something else. Warren Buffett's. You haven't heard him making any claims about buying something different or taking a big position in something. I almost think that he's waiting. He's kind of just sitting and waiting for more blood here. So,
I mean, I don't know if Warren Buffett has ever shorted a share in his life.
No, probably not.
Because he's Mr. Value Investor, right? And he's waiting. Yeah. He likes to buy and then hold for probably longer than he has these days.
Yeah.
I hate to say that, but may he be with us
Yeah,
forever.
I don't.
But
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, he's certainly not. See, I think he's. Some of the interviews he's given lately, says he has, he does not see any value out there, anything worth diving into. I think that's his kind of inclination at this point. Yes.
right. And to a certain degree, that makes sense to me because I mean, like we were just talking earlier, Mike F in the room was asking. He said, "I don't get it, right? Unemployment's at a record high, and and yet the market's going up, and but yeah, the market is going up. But as I said, largely because of the Fed money that's being pumped into the economy right now. So if I'm Buffett, I'm saying, well, that's not intrinsic value in companies that's keeping them at current valuations. That's basically the federal government providing support to the overall economy, which wouldn't fit his primary criteria, as I understand it, for how he looks at stock valuation.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, Bose, regarding your question about, yeah, we're based. I mean, Mike's in the U.S., Portland. Peter and I are up in Canada. I have accounts that hold U.S. dollars, so I still do my trades in U.S. dollars. And then I will do trades in Canadian dollars, obviously on the Toronto Exchange. Like if I go long, I'm long gold, and I'm long gold in both U.S. Accounts and Canadian accounts. So, but yeah, I kind of have to flip back and forth.
On my side, I only trade in U.S. currency, at least for day trading activities, Bose. So I converted my money sort of myself into U.S. dollars, and I transferred it into the U.S. and my U.S. accounts in U.S. dollars. And maybe similar to the way Brian does, where I've got Canadian accounts, I'll take positions, but that's more long-term investing more than trading. But from a trading perspective, it's just simpler. Do it all in US. I withdraw in US dollars, and then I do the conversion whenever I see fit. So I get to take advantage of, good currency conversion rates at my leisure rather than when I choose to pull money out. So.
Yeah, and there's a number of ways you can get US dollars. I mean, you can open US dollar accounts in Canada. Like I have a tax-free savings account that's both Canadian and US dollars.
Yeah.
So and I try. Yeah, I don't generally flip back and do too many exchanges, because the bank, like, they just rip you off
Yeah.
like they're crazy on the exchange rates.
Yeah.
You can lose 3% in and out on a trade, 3% both ways, so 5 or 6%. So there are money exchanges. I use a money exchange company. I just cut a draft at my bank and then go to the money exchange place with the draft, and then that's it. Get the US dollar check.
Hey guys.
Hey guys, it's Mike. I was wondering when you would join us, Mike.
Yeah,
I've been listening to Brian talking, so didn't want to interrupt.
Oh no, you're always welcome. I was giving compliments earlier. You might have heard out there. I said I was very impressed. I actually on my phone logged into our chat room, and I was only able to be there for a couple of minutes while my daughter was getting the keys for her new apartment. And I decided not to comment because I didn't want to interrupt things. But here I am seeing you in a suit, and I'm like, what is going on? So I flipped over to YouTube quickly, and then on YouTube I see you and Brian. And I'm like, this is awesome. Like I feel left out now. So
yeah, we did kind of a formal Friday.
Yeah,
we're formal Friday.
Formal Friday.
Fancy Friday.
Fancy Friday. Do it what you want. That's good. Well done.
Yes,
that's good.
So
I didn't crash it, so
we're just slobs today. Average Joes.
Yeah, average Joe's watching the chop of the market go.
Yeah. So the Tesla, I wish, this was, I always like to think of what was the trade that I really regret. And it's usually it's usually a long trade. And it's usually a trade I wish I had leaned into more. So Tesla was the Tesla was the trade I have biggest regret on today. Because I even thought, I was thinking about it last night. I was thinking, you know what, Tesla, I knew Andrew had held some overnight short over the weekend because of that announcement. But I just knew, I was thinking, I know it's going to come back up. There's no way that this isn't going to get bought on Monday morning. So I bought a few calls when it just started to go up, and I wish I'd have bought like 50. so that's my regret trade today. Would have made so much money.
Yeah, Tesla.
Wow.
Tesla's
JD.
a tough one though. Every now and again.
Yeah. Well, it's got such a following. People, anytime it does something like that, people just look at that and just, I don't know who's buying it, but people, I mean, maybe it's just everybody expects it to go back up, so it does. It levitates. JD has been on fire since the lunchtime.
Yeah, about 120 it really took off.
Just blasted off. Kind of went with the market a bit.
Yeah, it's all been kind of tough. Tough trading in the afternoon unless you got into a long.
Yeah. So SPY is kind of getting a little toppy here. We've had about 15 minutes of sort of going nowhere since this big push.
AMD really took off when you didn't take that short, Peter, right afterwards.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, good thing I didn't, right? So
yeah, good thing
on that. But yeah, I noticed that. I was actually almost ready to take a long, but I was busy playing around with my configuration here, so I didn't end up doing that. Playing with our fancy new tools, they're pretty cool here. I'm just trying to get everything set up.
Yeah, trying to get it to work out, huh?
Yeah, sort of neat.
Yeah, I got
Go ahead.
Oh, I was looking at the short on AMD at the same time too. I didn't take it either.
Let me take your screen off here, Brian, and we'll.
Yeah, sure. I'll stop sharing. I'll just do the stop sharing thing. Here we go. So the Maximum Infectious Disease Virtual Conference from May 5th, tomorrow.
What does that mean?
Well, it's a bunch of these small caps with that are presenting, like AIM, APDN, which took off today. INO is presenting, VXRT. These are all ones I've been trading in and out of. So it's kind of interesting. Microsoft is running a demonstration on May 7th for games running on the next generation Xbox Series X. The event and more like it will replace the highly watched E3 digital conference, which was canceled, obviously. Are you going to be lining up for that new Xbox Series X, Mike?
No.
No, I'm not going to be. I'm a PlayStation. I like PlayStations over the Xbox. That's just me.
Another Xbox, yeah, I know. Well, it's I don't know. Is this one got virtual reality? Because that would be the cool part in my mind.
I think so. I think that's what the next gaming consoles are bringing out, because I was reading up on the PS5 and they were talking virtual gaming as well. So
I think that that's I've done a virtual reality game where you go into one of these virtual reality places. It was pretty cool.
was that in New York?
No, that was there's one here in Vancouver. There's actually a couple here in Vancouver. Of course, they're all shut down now.
Of course.
Of course. Yeah.
Just like the US, a lot's shut down. Some's open, and some people are doing whatever they want anyways.
Exactly.
Even here in California, they had a big yesterday there was a restaurant somewhere. I can't recall where it was, but the restaurant basically opened up for business and sold out of food within half of the day. Yeah, maybe it was Orange County, because they ran out of food with a whole bunch of customers. And they asked why they did, and they said, well, I have a choice at this point. I either open my doors and sustain my lifestyle, meaning that I'm going to lose my business if I don't open my doors, or I lose my business because I've already got 2 eviction notices. Everybody's coming after me to pay the bills, and I have no money to pay them. So they're caught in between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah. It's unfortunate.
Well, and that's where I feel bad for a lot of these small business owners. I was saying to someone just this morning, glad I don't own a small business right now, because it's tough. Like, yeah, you're going to make some pretty tough calls. And, you know, you can say whatever you want about whether it's responsible or not, but, you know, they're just trying to survive, right, at the end of the day. So,
yeah. I mean, there's 2 things that I believe that every human being will do whatever, and they don't care about any rules, regulations, or anything that are put out. And that is, can I put food on my table? And do I have a roof over my head to provide for my family?
Right.
Yeah.
And when those 2 things come into play, and the answer is no to one of those 2, you're going to do what you need to accomplish those 2.
Sure.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I think some people are at that point now. And I think that's why you're seeing so many of so much of the stuff there going on, protests and all this stuff. They just want to put food back on the table.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys, I'm busy playing with the setup here, trying to get it all right. So we'll see what.
Turn off the electric and see how everyone does. Yeah. We'd be in trouble with no electricity.
Yeah. mRNA is still grinding higher here. So
yeah, the whole market's grinding, even with the SPY kind of rolling back.
All right, we're in the last 5 minutes now, and I am surprised at how far AMD has gone, that it's continued to grind up. It was around 52 when we were looking at it. Pulled through, and then a little pullback. Let me pull up AMD here on the screen. You can see it had this little pullback right here back to the previous day high, and then yeah, it took off nicely here. So nice little move.
Kept grinding all the way up.
Yeah, CCL is looking a little toppy to me here. We'll see what CCL is going to do, though. Sort of failed to move higher. You can see it's just sort of rounding a top here. Hasn't actually dropped yet, but in the last 5 minutes, it's hard to predict that it's going to drop. So it's got some size on the level 2. Yeah, it could just stay supported by this moving average here.
Well, getting a bit of a pullback into the open, but it's really just just a tiny bit of profit taking. So not a terrible day after 2 pretty hard sell-off days. There was sort of no there was no sort of chitter chatter about more tariffs, I guess, since Friday. I assume I didn't see anything.
I haven't heard anything. No, I did on the weekend. The only thing I saw was like sort of editorial articles about the back and forth between the U.S. and China, but nothing new in it really. They were just sort of reiterating the fact that tensions are heating up here a little bit.
Back again. Lyft is down today. Yeah, Lyft is down. Uber's down a bit. Lyft is down a lot. Just looking at Baba here, because Baba's kind of showing up more red than I used in the rest of my screen here, and
Baba,
it's actually just lost 100 moving average. Interesting.
And Baba's moving back up though. It is down.
CGC stayed green for the day. Just Roku's had a good day. I noticed that early, sort of in the morning, it seemed to be strong, and at that point it was trading around 120, and I see it's around 124 now. So it had a pretty decent day. Let me see what the
nice day.
Yeah, because Roku's been weird. It's been selling off. And
somebody's mentioning Zoom. What Zoom? Oh, Zoom. Yeah, Zoom moving up here.
Yeah, Roku really just bounced right off the 20 moving average on the daily. And now it's right back up at the 200 day, bumping its head on that. Yeah, so let's see what Zoom looks like.
Roku and Zoom. Yeah.
There was another announcement of another, was it a Norwegian company that was getting into this business?
Everybody wants everyone wants a piece of the video conferencing world now.
Yeah, totally. Yeah,
it's the new in thing.
Yeah, no, I think it's going to make a permanent change in the way some businesses conduct their business going forward. It's not. This isn't going to be over when we get a vaccine or whatever. I think it's going to become a more permanent part of the way companies do business.
I was reading an article over the weekend from the New York Times where they were talking about if you actually look at the average life cycle to create from vaccine creation to actual implementation, the normal life cycle it takes about 18 years to get to market. So they're saying basically by 2036, roughly, we should have it. So we're 16 years, I guess. But there's the bell already. But they said, I mean, that's under non-pandemic circumstances. So even on the 18-month accelerated timeline, there's a lot of stuff that has to go right, like to really get it to work. Which makes sense, because, I mean, when you hear clinical trials, before you, actually widespread give a medicine to a human, clinical trials usually is a couple-year process.
Oh, right? Totally, yeah. Yeah, you don't want to... You want to make sure it's not poisonous.
Right.
And you want to what dosage is going to be effective.
Exactly. So, it's one of those where, I mean, I hope we get a cure as quick as possible, but the reality is it's probably going to take a while to do that because, we have to sort of fund every possible opportunity, and most are going to fail because most usually fail anyways. And in this case, being that we're doing it quickly, there's going to be a higher percentage of failure, right? Because a lot are just not even, valid, I guess, models or solutions. So, yeah, like it's interesting to see what's going to happen because we're pushing the envelope as to what we can actually accomplish here. CCL, man, it finally fell after hours. It couldn't fall during market hours, eh? It had to wait till after hours to finally drop here.
Did it finally drop? I was looking at that for.
I was hoping to get an
all
opportunity
day.
before the close here, but the last 15 minutes, it didn't give any sign that it was willing to drop. So I never bothered taking a short entry. So yeah. So we didn't talk about earnings today. I noticed, I have to admit, I wasn't here Friday, and then suddenly, like, all earnings disappeared while I was not paying attention. So there was like no earnings this morning. I didn't really see anything that was.
It wasn't much.
Yeah. So what's going on tonight? Shake Shack. Shake Shack is coming out in 5 minutes. Skyworks, but that's not normally worth watching. What else we got here? Diamondback Energy, no. XPO. Now, XPO is an interesting one. It has traded nicely in the past. This one traded actually against FedEx at one point as a logistics company. I remember that there was a good day where FedEx, so FDC, is that what's FedEx? FDC, right? FDX, maybe. That makes more sense. Anyways, and XPO were trading on the same day, so that might be one that's interesting to watch. What else we got? Is that Skyworks Solutions? Do they, Greg?
Yes.
Do they produce like piece parts or something for Apple? Or I don't know what they do. Now that you're saying it, it sounds vaguely familiar, but
Yeah,
like the cameras
they're
or
a,
something weird.
they're a parts supplier to the Apple iPhone.
Okay.
I'm just looking at what's trading. It
What
looks like
else
this
we have?
dropping a bit.
All right. Well, now that I know what to look for here, I'll just bring this back over. Let's see. Skyworks Semiconductors. Okay. Well, we'll see what
Shake.
Skyworks seems to have announced guidance with midpoint.
Yes.
Whoa, Skyworks. That doesn't sound very. The news article I'm looking at here. They basically missed on sales slightly and beat on earnings. That's what I'm seeing, but then. Oh, Q3 guidance. Got it. Okay. So their Q3 guidance, though, is down from what the expectations were, it looks like. Take a note of these to look at for tomorrow, as I always do. On my good old-fashioned paper system.
Piece of paper.
Piece of paper.
It's a paper and pen.
You know, I actually funny. I actually think there's a benefit to changing it up. You go high tech, low tech. It keeps your mind working differently. At least that's my belief. But
Yeah, I'm always a big proponent of writing things down because it seems to
Stick with you more.
yeah,
exactly.
yeah, that's what I believe as well. So
I do. I have been thinking on Shake Shack's coming up right now. So SHAK.
oh, they're
Earnings.
dropping. The stock is dropping, anyways. This WKS is a little all over the place. Shake
Yeah.
Shack dropping $3 here.
Big drop.
Well, I think they were expecting zero, zero profits, but it was -3. So, isn't that big a deal? Seems to be, but it's jumping.
It's got to be tough to trade earnings right now after hours.
I don't know how to do this.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, because I mean, I don't know, it just seems so unexpected. Look at Tesla. Tesla actually finished the day at the highs, 760. Wow.
Yep. So I said I wish I'd have loaded the boat with those calls instead of just going light. But c'est la vie.
Okay, well, a couple things to keep an eye on for tomorrow. Whoops. Shake Shack is trying to figure out. It's like, look at that. It's right back up.
All right, guys. Well, I'm just
Back and forth.
get on to the rest of my day. So everybody enjoy the rest of your evening, everyone.
You
And,
too, Brian.
Thanks, Brian.
We'll see what the tomorrow brings, right?
We'll
Yes,
see what the
which
tomorrow brings.
hopefully will be better than today.
Today was, if you look at the way for the way the day closed, was a pretty constructive day, even though maybe it was late on volume. See how we finish the day on some volumes here. Decent volume. Yeah, volume lighter on the Dow. Volume definitely way lighter on the IWM, the small caps. Huge light volume. And SPY definitely lower volume than Thursday, Friday, but yeah, lighter volume again. So light volume day, but we'll see what happens tomorrow. This thing can just keep grinding higher.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right, guys.
All right, Brian. Thanks so much.
All right.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one, everyone. Bye.
Take care. Well, like we said, we'll have to we'll watch some of these earnings. We'll see what happens. There's only one that I said is coming out a little bit later tonight that I really want to see. Other than that, it'll all be morning plays. So Shake Shack is probably going to go around. XPO, I said I just want to see what XPO has done, because it's another one of those stocks that I normally only trade right around earnings. Other than that, it's usually not a mover that I would take a look at. So let's take a look at XPO right now. It's not doing much. In fact, today it only traded 1 million shares. And if I look at it, yeah, see, it was even down on its volume. It normally trades around 2 million shares. XPO hasn't done much the last couple of days. Well, we'll see. We will see. THC, Tenet Healthcare. They got big revenue. They got 4.6 billion in revenue. They're announcing at 420 tonight, but I can't say I've ever traded them. I can't remember ever seeing that on one of my gappers lists. Not that I've memorized everything that goes up there, but Venla, have a great evening. Thanks for joining us here. Johan, you were long Tesla, well, in sim, but still. I guess good for you. AIG. I don't think I've ever traded AIG either. Is it an even half decent trade? Whoa. Ugh, look at that chart from today. That's not pretty. That's just nothing. Maybe today's not a good guide though. Oh no, look at those little candles. Yeah, see, this is the reason why I don't trade AIG. That's not a good daily chart.
Doesn't move very much.
Yeah. Okay, well, only a couple of earnings tonight. Tomorrow, what are we looking at tomorrow? A lot before the bell tomorrow, though. It sort of seems to pick up through Thursday. We got a bunch reporting tomorrow morning, though. With Cisco. Cisco might be an interesting one. But yeah, would this quarter be impacted? Like, Cisco's got to be heavily impacted, right? Because they're food services. They're got to be heavily impacted by all of this shutdown. Who's ordering cafeteria food right now? Unless you're in a long-term care facility. Anyways, Wayfair, which could be interesting because they were talking about they were making some announcements and moving the last week. It wasn't, I think. Dominion Energy. Lumentum sometimes is a mover. So there's a few coming tomorrow morning that'll be worth keeping an eye on. To see those, we'll see if they hit our gappers list, guys, and you can do that by checking out the pre-market show with Carlos and Norm right here at the Bear Bulls channel. It starts at 8:30. It goes for about 45 minutes as we run through everything that's gapping and the news behind it, and Norm provides his views on the market, where Carlos does the technical analysis. It's a great opportunity to sort of get ready for your day. If you don't join us there, please consider it. And we'd appreciate it, by the way, for those of you in YouTube, or even in a room, if you like the show, go to YouTube and hit the like button. The more likes, the better it is. We like to be liked. So appreciate that.
Yes.
If you can hit the like button, that's always nice. And visit us on the social media too, whether it's in Instagram or Twitter or LinkedIn even. We've got the links there at the bottom of the screen. You can see at Bear Bull Traders. So come visit us. Tomorrow we will try the triumvirate of cameras. We'll get all three cameras going. We'll see how that works. I forgot to ask Brian. I forgot to ask Brian if he was wearing a red shirt, because someone made the comment that we're both wearing red, and I didn't even notice. So
yeah, I didn't either.
yeah, there you go. Hiltzy, I don't even want to know why you're going through that much toilet paper, but you know, I would suggest you're maybe not eating right while being sequestered here. Near stop out trades. You're taking some of these colloquial expressions a little too literally then. Are pins, Mohammed on YouTube is saying that pins and SPCE, Virgin Galactic, are reporting as well. Are they? Well, if they are.
That I'm not sure.
Pins, yeah, he's right. After the close, though. Yeah, they're both reporting after the close tomorrow, so I didn't look that far ahead. But, yeah. All right, well, I'm going to take, we're almost here. I'm just going to wait another couple seconds. Let's see if I get any numbers from XPO. Sometimes recently they have not been hitting their mark here and releasing on time. I'm not seeing any price action whatsoever on XPO, so there's not much going on there.
No.
Let's flip back to Shake Shack. Yeah, look, see Shake Shack's now just pretty much the excitement dried up very quickly on that. It's not moving. SWKS. It actually
The
dropped.
computers got done trading it.
Yeah, exactly. The computers are all done. Played their little games, and now they're powering down for the evening. XPO. I don't see the reporting on XPO yet. Umesh? Did I miss it? Ah, okay. I wasn't listening to Benzinga. Guys, you're keeping me in suspense. What did they say? Or could you not hear because I was talking over them? You missed it? They missed. Oh, they missed their numbers. Well, XPO is a nicey stock, which means you don't get anywhere near as much action, and that's certainly proving to be the case. Whatever's going on, there's nothing being traded, like not a share. So
it's just kind of sitting there.
Yeah, there's like I'm not even seeing anything. The bid and ask is not moving. Bid and ask is sitting there with a $4 spread, with not a single trade, with not a single trade happening. So yeah, okay. Well, maybe we watch that tomorrow morning then. All right, that was not
See if
exciting
something
whatsoever.
comes out on it.
Yeah, CCL. I should have taken the short on CCL and held it through the close. Anyways, coulda, shoulda, woulda. That little spike there would have been annoying, but you know, I would have been in safe territory and could have got partial down here. EA, yeah, Art, EA, there was a couple of them, the gaming stocks, EA and Take-Two Entertainment, I think, TTWO. And what was the other one? Activision.
What's it? Activision Blizzard?
Yeah, exactly. ACTI? No, ATVI? It's something like that. There you go, ATVI. I know I get it if I just played enough. Yeah. Yeah, they tend to move. I don't know if this is going to be good for them or not, but yeah. Do they report tomorrow as well? I don't know what their reporting is. Oops. Let's see here. ATVI. Yeah, they report after the close tomorrow. EA also reporting after the close, and TTWO. Oh, they don't report until May the 20th. Wow, that's weird. Okay. Well, we've got EA and ATVI that'll be reporting tomorrow, so we'll see how that goes. Okay, but that being said, as I said, let's shut her down. Thank you so much, Mike, for joining me here today. Thank you, everybody in the room, and thanks to everybody on YouTube. So we will see you guys all tomorrow, live on YouTube at 3:30 as always. Whoops. And here in the room all day to trade live with us. So thank you for watching, and we will see you guys tomorrow. Later, everyone.